We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello friends, today we are discussing regarding the mathematical representation of the solid. As per CAT syllabus, it is the 4th chapter and we are discussing about it. Okay, so mathematical representation of the solid. So what is the mathematical representation of the solid? First representation of the any kind of image is we are learn already in the chapter number 2. So we are converting any numerical data and convert it into the any geometric standard objects like point, line, curve, circle, ellipse. Okay, so now by using that kind of graphical systems, we have to generate standard objects for the representation technique. So let's see, we are starting with the represent techniques. Okay, so first application of the solid modeling have the particularly solid modeling have the 4 main basic application. First application is the graphics and presentation, means this kind of application we already learned in the first year engineering drawings and render image. Okay, so another second step is the engineering design. So what is engineering design? So it will consist the basic property of the mechanical property like mass properties, geometric property, infrastructure, interference checking, FEA, kinetic analysis, and the simulations. So this is nothing but this is the engineering drawing, which is basic steps of the engineering drawing that we have to check the each and everything for the solid modeling. It may be a single object or it may be a assembly. Okay, and third one is the total part generation in the process planning, means it's this part is come under the CAM, computer aided manufacturing. We are computer is connected with the particularly any machines. It will be a lathe machine, it will be a drill machine, it will be a milling machine. So it is a CNC machines are there for automate part generation, and for that purpose we are using a solid modeling applications. And fourth one is nowadays we all are know the robotics. So industrial robots are there as well as the normal robots are there, which we are using in day-to-day life at nowadays. So for the assembly purpose or a single one task purpose we can use the robot. So this is the application of the solid modeling. So now basically start with the solid modeling. First I would like to say that solid modeling is basically divided into the 3 parts. First one is the wireframe modeling, second one is the surface modeling, and third one is the solid modeling. So now we have to learn wireframe modeling. Before starting the wireframe modeling, I have to discuss something regarding the presentation. Means when we learn anything in the software, or we can say the in engineering graphics, at that time 2D drawing means it is a particularly orthographic representation, and if it is a 3D drawing is then isometric representation. But today we have to learn another representation technique, and it is the one of the part of the solid modeling representation technique. So in wireframe modeling, basically 3 types of models are there. First one is the 2D modeling, second one is the 2.5D model, and third one is the 3D model. So many students heard about the 2.5D model. So this is the one surprising moment for the all students are there. So today we have to elaborate all 3 models with the different applications and the different examples. So now we all know the 2D model. It is we all already learn in the engineering graphics. It is orthographic representation, means any object is 3D is there, but we can only view or we can only represent only one side. It will maybe a top view, it will be a front view, it will be a side view, or it will be a bottom view, any one view. Means when we are presenting our object within one piece of paper in the only one face, that means the 2D modeling. So here they are written that 2-dimensional representation is used for the flat object. It should be a not that 2D object is identified as a region and not a individual primitives elements. So what I would not to say that primitives, it means it is a one 3D solid geometries, that is called the primitives. It will be come under the solid modeling. Okay, 2.5D. So in simple way, if I want to present a 2.5D, means any frame structure of any 3D objects, it is a 2.5D. But one important things that we have to learn in the 2.5D, how it can different from the 3D model and the 2D model. So 2.5D model does not indicate any kind of volume. It cannot give the any data like age, point, and what. It just represent a basic geometry in as you learn as you observe in the center. Okay, this one is the 2.5D model. So this is the one box kind of. We can show the hidden line is also there, but it will be in the dark. But if we are taking a 3D model, then it will be a light line. When we are representation, here is the it's solid lines are there, but it will be a dotted line in the 3D model if we are representing the 3D model. So we all are know what is the 3D model. So wireframe modeling is the some advantages and disadvantages are there. So wireframe modeling is the very low memory structures are there. So for representation technique, to ideation purpose, for idea creation, to SketchUp purpose, we are using a wireframe modeling for the representation purpose only. But it cannot give the proper detailing regarding mass, volume, color, and the other mechanical property, mass property, and is there. Another limitations are there. So wireframe modeling, if we are taking any conjugated or a very big assembly, then where is the interference are there. One object is interconnected with another object, that we cannot properly identify in the wireframe modeling. So it is just for the small objects, single object, or a 2 to 3 object purpose it is okay. Otherwise for the complicated shape and for assembly observation purpose, it cannot be useful for the presentation technique. So this is the limit of the wireframe modeling. Okay, so now if we learn proper wireframe modeling, how it can generate and how the data structure will create in the computer system, because when we are learning the mathematical representation technique, so one things we have to consider in our mind, we are generating a data, that is a mathematical data. We give that kind of mathematical data to the computer, and it is a task of the CPU, and we are creating the program. So that data is input data for the program, and program generate the line, circle, any curvatures or ellipse or any other standard geometry. Okay, so here we have a one simple rectangle is represent is there, or we can say it is a one plane is there. So if I am divided into the mathematical means present in the mathematical model, so that I have the vertex list, edge list, and the edge type. So I am indicate the vertex v1, v2, v3, v4. Here is the v1, v2, v3, and v4. These are the main points are there. So this, when I am connecting this point v1 to v2, it give a particularly one elements, or we can say one edge is there. We can say one edge, one point to another point, one edge is there. It is static from v1 to v2, and it is in the linear form. Here all forms are the linear, because we are preparing a one plane or a one square is there. So this is the one simple representation of the wireframe modeling of simple one rectangular is there, or we can say one plane is there. Next, if I am taking a 3D model of one kind of wireframe modeling, or we can say one box is there. So we have total 8 vertices, and each, when I am connecting each and every vertices, and this is the total 12 vertices are there, and each have the linear form. So this is the particularly mathematical representation of the one box. And if I am taking a one cone, so when I am taking a one cone of the wireframe modeling, at a time, here one vertex is here, one vertex is here, and third one is the here. So now here the connectivity is the different things are there. v1 to v2 is the linear, v1 to v3 is the linear, but here v2 to v3 is the semicircle. And if I am say the semicircle, then second chapter, our circle algorithm, Brejanam circle algorithm, we have to know that we have to draw pixel formation in the semicircular manner. Okay, so but here the 2 points semicircles are there. So starting from V2 to V3 and V3 to V2, it is also a semicircle. So this is the wireframe representation of the particularly we can say one cone. Okay, so now we have to learn meshing in the objects. So actually meshing in the object, I am already uploaded one video related to FEA, but this is some simple representation techniques are there. This is the simple we observe such representation technique right now. But if I am increase the grids, what do you mean by the grids? If I am increase the elements, means number of, if I am increase the vertices, I am increase the my edge, and we can say curve or a semicircles. So what happened at that time? It is a one skeleton structure as are there. So it will look solid, look like a solid modeling if I am increasing gradually. Then otherwise this is also one representation technique, and so this is why we can say that the mesh size of the object visualization, means for the visualization purpose we can increase the mesh size and we can decrease the mesh size. When the mesh size is very much high, at that time it will give the higher, it will require the higher memory for the storage purpose. If we have the low meshing size, then the low memory is required for the storage purpose. Okay, next. So this different will be asked in the 2 to 3 marks in the Gujarat Technological University regular CAT paper or a in the Viva purpose, 2D modeling and the 3D modeling of the wireframe modeling. So here is the 2D model is end of the linear are representation by the x and y coordinates. Obviously in the 3D we have to consider all three coordinates x, y and the z. Okay, so this is the simple things that we have to we already know that. Then the curved edges are representation by the circle, ellipse and the splines. So this all objects are the 2D objects are there. So if I say that the here in the 3D wireframe modeling, if I want to present the 3D wireframe modeling, then we have to know that we have the toroid, one cone is there, or we already observed that any cylindrical formation is there, that is come under the 3D wireframe modeling. So 3D image recognizes the 10 years, and 2D view are the well as the various different representation techniques for the different side, and use only for the one global coordinate system. And 3D is maybe require the use of the several use of the coordinates, means we already learned that 3 coordinate systems are there. World coordinate system is there, universal coordinate systems are there, and the object coordinate systems are there. So it is depend on it. So let's see, go ahead. So now second phase is the types of surface. This is the most important questions in the GTU also. Explain the different types of surfaces and with the applications and the use of the surfaces. Okay, so it is a very simple questions are there, just we have to know the drawing and terminology of each and every surfaces. Okay, so actually you have to, if you want to pass in the CAD, you have to do practice, kindly practice the different drawings and different representation techniques. Okay, so first we learn with the plane surface. So plane surface is a very simplest surface and basic surface in which each and every grid are equally divided. Okay, so on the construction side one grid is there, we can say that skeleton structure of the roads are there, that is nothing but it is a plane surface. But this is the different things and this is the different things. So this is the plane surface we are using for the wall purpose, one side surface purpose, or represent any partition purpose. So this is the very simplest plane surface are there. Second one is the ruled and the loft surface. So ruled and the loft surface is the different thing. Here you can observe the two boundaries are there, boundary number 1 and boundary number 2. So both boundary have the different non-linearities are there. So when we are taking the such kind of non-linearity boundaries, and at that time if we are connected with the intermediate grids, so it create a one surface. So if I am taking one piece of paper and just twist it from the two side, and also it is a one surface is there, and whatever the curve is generated, that curve generated by the this rules. So this is called a ruled surface. Okay, and next one is the edge surface. What happened? Ruled surface is bound from the two sides, but the edge surface bound from the all four sides. You can observe that this is a boundary 1, boundary 2, boundary 3, and boundary 4. So here again we are generating the grid, but it is not a equal grid, it is a ununiform grids are there. That is the called a edge surface. Okay, next one is the surface of revolution. It is a very important part is there, because this 3D revolutions are we will learn in the next topic. So surface of revolution. So when any cylindrical objects are there, when any circular cross section is the same from all the side, at a time we are using a surface revolution. So here is the one of the most example is the one glass is there, or we can say wine glass is there. So here I am selecting one axis of revolution. Keep in your mind, axis of revolution and standard axis both are the different. Axis of revolution means when we are creating any trajectory, the trajectory will be revolve against the axis of revolution. It may be an incline, it may be a straight, it may be a horizontal. So it is depend on the designer how you can select the axis of revolution. So if I want to prepare a water tank, if I want to prepare a cylinder, if I want to create one rocket cylindrical object, or if I want to prepare a jug, if I want to prepare a one water jar, then at that time I am using a surface of revolution. If I want to prepare a flange, then I can use the surface of revolution. Okay, so this is the surface of revolutions objects are there after the revolution, and this is the 3D view of the object. So both things are the different. This is the 3D representation techniques of the surface representation. Next one is the turbulent surface. So turbulent surface, so here again I am taking a same trajectory. This is called a trajectory, one single path of the curve. It may be a combination of line, curve, circle, semicircle, ellipse, or a polyline. Okay, it is a combination of the all kind of fundamental commands are there. Okay, so if I am translate trajectory in the one direction, means this is the direction of the path, and at that time what surface will be generated, it is called a turbulent surface. You can observe that this is the trajectory, and if I am exclude it, then this is the surface. Okay, so this is called a turbulent surface. Next one is the cone page. So cone page is the particularly very simplex method are there. So different points from the at various in the global coordinate system, and from that all surface will be passed. Means if I am taking a 1 point here, 1 point here, and 1 point here, so this surface will be passed from all 3 points. That is called a cone page. So it is give the means rough idea regarding the surface. When we don't have any idea regarding the, I am preparing partition wall here, at the time I am putting over 3 points and just pass away one surface. So I can at least I can ideate that here I am putting here or here or here, that I can identify the by cone page. Now another is the offset surface. So here I would like to discuss something is that when we learn the surface modeling, at that time one important point we have to note it is that any surface does not have the thickness. If it is a thickness is there, then it is a solid modeling. Keep in your mind all students, when we are learning about the surface, so surface does not have the any kind of thickness. If it have the thickness, then it will be a solid modeling. So now I want to represent thickness in surface modeling. At that time I am using a offset surface. So here observe that this is my original surface is that, and I am preparing the offset, means same kind of outer surface we are generating inside. It may be happen you can generate the offset outside, inside, both the side. It is depend on the designer. Here we are offsetting inside the geometry, so it gives the representation of the little bit thickness is here is there, you can observe here is there. So it means when we have to represent any thickness or a thumb space in between the two surface, at that time we can use the offset surface. Okay, and another typical types of synthetic surfaces are there. First one is the Bezier surface. So what is the property of the Bezier surface? Bezier surface have the control points. Some books are written this is the data point. So what happened? The surface should not be passed from to the data point or a control point, but by using a control point we can change the shape of the surfaces. Okay, so if I want to prepare a mouse, so what can I take? I am taking a one surface, and then I am just change my control point, so I can create a mouse. Okay, so such kind of advanced synthetic surfaces are there. And second one is the B-spline surface. So B-spline surface does not have the data point, but it can control by the data point onto the surface. So any grid midpoint or a cross point, we can just pick on it, we can move by the this control. This is not a control point but intersecting point, so it we can deform in the any shape by the B-spline surface. Okay, so up till now we just learned this much. In next lecture, in part 2, we learn the solid modeling. Thank you.